Do you dream of pancakes swimming in a pool of homemade maple syrup, surrounded by little boats of sausage patties grilled to perfection, and you take one of the patties and you dip it into the golden deliciousness on your plate? But here's the catch. You made the maple syrup yourself. It's possible, and I'm gonna show you how to do it today. Stay tuned. Oh, and stay tuned till the end. Come back and we'll cook some breakfast over the fire. We're gonna dip into this maple syrup. Hey guys, Brooke Whipple here. Thank you so much for joining me. This is part 2 of a video series on how to tap trees and make your own maple syrup right there in your backyard on an open wood fire. Part 1, where I teach you how to tap the trees, is on my channel, Girl in the Woods. So go check out the link below if you wanna learn how to do that. But today, here, right now, we're making maple syrup. You don't need much. Let me show you my setup. All right, now that we've had the taps out for a few days, we can go ahead and collect the sap. Oh, it's awesome. Sap runs best when it's above 0 during the day and below 0 at night. And that's the conditions we have right now. Gotta have a sip. Go, more sap. All right, we got a good 25 gallons, more than enough for me to burn up in a whole day on my open fire. Now my setup here is really simple. All I've got here is 2 runs of stacked old chimney brick. I've got the brick crisscross, so it's pretty supported. Then for the grate, these are just old refrigerator grates. They're gonna span the gap. I also use a couple of old leaf springs. Go to the scrapyard, you can find a lot of this stuff. A lot of times they'll give it to you for free. Pans sometimes get kind of heavy, so I put some leaf springs to kind of support the grates. Let me show you how I set it up. I've laid down my leaf springs, putting down the grates. Nice and solid. One thing I want to point out is I have some air holes that are built into my little setup here, just to allow some more airflow to feed the fire. This is about 3.5, 4 feet long, just right for my pots and pans. All right, this is my biggest kettle. It is my center kettle. Next on each end, I've got 2 separate pots, a nice big canning kettle, and I've got like a big heavy-duty aluminum roasting pan. Why do I use these? Because it's what I have. I've been doing maple syrup for years with just these 3 pots. It works. This pot will go here, this pot will go here. Now let me talk about the wood pile. You're gonna need a lot of wood. This is my pile that I prepare in the fall, and then I cover it with a tarp all winter. Now the nice thing about how I've got my outdoor fire set up is that it's just a long, straight section of fire. So I can feed in these long, straight sections of wood without doing a lot of work cutting it up, be ready to use a lot of wood. Now you can see I have prepared my area. I've raked all the leaves away, which is important. The other thing I have handy is a rake and a shovel in case any fire gets out into these leaves somehow. I'm ready to take care of it. Now I can expect to spend all day out here burning down about 20-25 gallons of sap on this setup. Now that I've got the sap and now that I'm set up, I can start my fire. So first thing in the morning, I'm gonna come out and get my fire started and we'll get to boiling sap. Well, good morning. We got the fire going. Let's get this sap boiling. Well, we got a little ice in here. So what I like to do is pull the ice out, just like that. And that's really just helping you concentrate what you got left. That's more water content. This is more sugar content. Just gonna distribute the sap for now into the 3 containers. And as we get going, I'll be concentrating the sap that's boiling down into this middle container. But for now, I just gotta get things started, get everything heated up. There's the start of our operation. Good morning, Daisy. Hi. All right, let's take a look. Here we go. We got everything nicely steaming off. And what I'm gonna do now is just marry this one to there and this one to there and pour cold into each side. We're gonna keep this middle sap right here, the concentrated pot. Once again, let's get the ice out. One thing you're gonna wanna have on hand is some leather gloves. First, we're gonna marry these 2 pots into the middle. Now we're only gonna pour cold sap into the 2 outside pots. Here we go. Keep the fire going, keep this operation in process. I love smelling like wood smoke. All right, been at this just a little while, guys, but making good progress. I don't know if you can tell yet, but you can definitely see that that middle pot is more golden. That's our concentrated pot in the middle, and it's looking good. Oh, I can smell the sugar already. It smells great. Life is good. Now this right here is the perfect fire. It's really going well. All 3 kettles have a nice, good boil going on. So we're getting a lot of evaporation. And it takes a lot of work to keep your fire at this level. You really just have to babysit this thing for hours upon hours. But it's all good. Woohoo! Look at this. Took my coat off. It's so amazing. All right, time to marry this up. We are making progress. Yeah, really starting to see some nice golden color in this middle pot. Look at that. You can really smell the sugar coming on this now. But it's supposed to rain here, so I'm trying to wrap it up before it rains. We'll see if I make it. Oh, you can smell that sugar. Hey, and maybe some of you are wondering about, any residue and ashes and, that kind of thing getting into the syrup. We're gonna take care of all of that when we strain the syrup. We're gonna strain it about 3 times, so no worries. What ends up happening when you do it on an outdoor wood fire like this, just got a very slightly smoky flavor. I mean, it's delicious. It's very nearly unnoticeable. It's gonna blow your face off. Where's he going? Come here. Oh, fuzzy boy, you wanna sit up here? Hey, honey. This is Jesse. We also call him Angry, because he's a bully. I love the animals visiting. Now, one thing that's probably going to happen to you is you're going to see this. It's when the syrup and the sap gets really hot and it wants to boil over. So you always want to leave some room in your pot. Don't fill it up too high. Give it that room so it can bubble up. Sometimes if it looks like it's going to boil over, you can just pull it back a minute, let it calm down. This is why it's a good idea to stay around in the area and really pay attention to your syrup. All right, guys, we are getting close. I'm down to 1 pot. I've married all of my sap into this final pot. We're getting close to seeing the creation of the maple syrup. Let me show you what I'm looking at. All right, this is what I'm dealing with right now. Definitely is starting to get a little bit more viscous and starting to definitely look like maple syrup. Now if I push it back on the fire more, it really starts to bubble up. So I'm going to take it as far as I can out here and then I'll bring it in. I'll see what happens, and this is going to happen indoors too on your stove when you go to finish it, is it just wants to totally bubble. Just wants to bubble over. It's getting really hot and getting thicker. It just wants to bubble over. Yum. So how do you know when your maple syrup is done? Well, you want a thermometer. You're gonna want to take your maple syrup to 219 degrees, and that's higher than the boiling point. That's the stage when all of the liquid is going to be evaporated out and it's just going to be syrup. So you're gonna need a thermometer, and you're gonna need to see it reach 219 for your syrup to be finished. The other thing you can do too, you want to see if your syrup is sheeting off your spoon. That's another good way, if you don't have a thermometer, to tell if your syrup is ready. Now if you watch how it drips off, you want it to come off in like a sheet instead of drops, which mine isn't doing yet. It's really drippy yet. So it's not quite there. Even without a thermometer, I can tell I'm really close to having syrup here. All right, it's really starting to rain like crazy. What I'd like to do before I take this inside is filter it at least once. Got here another pot. You're gonna need some of this. You can find this any place that they sell stuff to do maple syrup, but it's a filter cloth and it's got a really tight weave. You can't use like cheesecloth or anything like that. You've got to use this. So I'm gonna clip it on. Now it's nice and hot. I'm gonna pour this through at least once out here so it's a little easier to deal with in this giant pot that's covered in soot and stickiness. This is gonna filter out all those impurities, any grit, any soot. It's gonna catch all that. And it looks like we've got syrup. It's sheeting. You can see it sheeting off the pot here. It's looking good. That's what we're looking at. Man, it's raining like crazy. Slowly going through that filter. I think I better take this inside. It's raining pretty good. All right, we made it inside. It's almost all the way through the first filter. There's what's left. It's just kind of a gooey mess. That's sugar sand and some of the ashes and soot and stuff. I'm heating up the syrup again right now and we're gonna filter it again. It's nice and hot. Should go right through. All I did with this filter is just wash it out in hot water in the sink. Just look at that. It's beautiful. Here's after the second filtering. Probably do one more and call it good. All right, here's the last filter. Here we go. Oh, and it's golden deliciousness. See it sheeting off the edge here. Perfect maple syrup. That one went through very quickly. Nothing much to filter out anymore. All right, this is the exciting part. We get to put it into jars and look at how beautiful it is. All right, I've got this heating up just a little bit. I want to raise the temperature so it's nice and hot, and then we jar it. Which is exciting because we get to see how much our work pays off, how many of these we get to fill. There's two, quick. Let's get the lids on. I'm just gonna turn it over. And that'll seal it. What we're doing here is just heating up the lids. Then I'm going to flip these over and then they will seal. Just going to flip these over. Oh, they can seal. Well, good morning, guys. This is the payoff. Look at this. This beautiful syrup from last night. I'm out here at my shelter. This is going to be part of breakfast. I've got it right by the fire warming up. I've got water on for coffee. This is going to be awesome. All right, we're going to do pigs in a blanket dipped in maple syrup. Wait for this. This is amazing. First of all, we got to roast the weenie. This is like a cheddar sausage. It's going to be amazing. Yes. The wolf is coming to see what's for breakfast. Hi, honey. I got one for you too. Hang on. All right, this one's for you. There you go. The good stuff. All right, ready for the coffee, guys? Here we go. Yes. Oh, smell that? That is looking delish. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap my dog with some croissant dough. All you do is take your dough and wrap it around your dog. Just like that. Want to pinch it real good so it stays on. Now you just want to hold it gently over the flames. Just want to brown it. Oh, look what's happening. Oh man, that is looking good, folks. Got our maple syrup warmed up. I'm gonna pour some into my little container, and it's gonna be dipping sauce. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. All right, first bite. It's unbelievable. Here, take a bite. Golden deliciousness. Well guys, thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to BeAlive's channel, hit the bell, and I highly recommend you check out the Baird Brothers canoeing adventure across the Canadian wilderness. They are just so much fun, really, really awesome adventurers, so check that out. And don't forget, if you missed the first part of this video, you can see that on my channel, Girl in the Woods, on how to tap trees to get the sap. That link is below. Thanks guys, I'll see you next time. Don't forget to get outside and get happy.